So I think that gets to our next speaker, Bryan Rasmussen, with our Industrial Assessment Center. So for those of you who don't know, the Industrial Assessment Center program actually predates the Department of Energy. So it's just recently went through its 40th anniversary this past year. And this program has a very simple premise. That is, you're looking at energy efficiency out there, particularly with small, medium-sized manufacturers, and the really small ones where there is energy efficiency potential out there, but these companies are busy, making that $10,000 that pay raises payrolls matter or not. They probably don't have anyone on their staff that is an energy professional that works with them. If they just get some information about where they should wind up working on these things, they can wind up actually implementing it themselves. So how do we share that information? And then on the other side, if we do that through our universities, the people that will provide those assessments are students. Use that as a training opportunity. So they're learning about what's the real world problems that are out there, and how do we wind up bringing those students in that next generation of energy experts into the marketplace as a result of that. So using the small businesses as a learning tool as well. And that's what our industrial assessment program is. We just went through our most recent re-up. Every 5 years we do a merit-based competitive solicitation on where the sites are for that. Texas A&M, I would say, on a competitive basis, year in and year out, comes in a very strong performer on this. We're pleased to have Bryan here, Bryan Rasmussen. He's an associate professor of mechanical engineering from Texas A&M. I will say overall the IEC program has had 17,000 small businesses have had audits. Individually, about 110,000 individual energy savings recommendations over the past after the past 40 years. But just as importantly, 4,000 students have gone through this program and are now energy experts that are trained in real hands-on knowledge. Bryan, I wonder if you could share with us some of the experiences at the IAC program and the work that you're doing in that area.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Good morning, and as we say at Texas A&M, howdy. It's a genuine pleasure to be here and talk about the IEC program. This is a hidden gem in my view, not just at the Department of Energy, but for our students as well. As Mark said, this has a 40-year history, so at Texas A&M we've been doing this for 30 years, so a good portion of that. And this is one of the best marriages of technical assistance to manufacturers and student education that I've ever seen or participated in. So the first objective of the program is to assist small and medium manufacturers. We tend to focus on energy efficiency, but we also look at productivity improvements, increasing their competitiveness, as well as reducing waste issues at these facilities as well. And of course, the other component of this program is to train the next generation of energy engineers. So just to give you a little idea of what that impact looks like, as Mark said, 17,000 clients have been served by this program over the last few years. And to give you an idea, give us one day on site at your facility, and on average, our team can find 5 to 7% reduction in your energy savings. So that's on the order of over $100,000 for most of our clients. So what a typical visit looks like from one of our teams is we work with our clients, we get a little information about their energy use in terms of electricity and natural gas and so forth. Our students do some analysis, and then we show up on site at that facility. And for my students, it's a little bit like a reality show of how it's made, or an episode of Sesame Street. They get to see how everything is made. We've been to everything from a tortilla making factory to a factory that makes doors or steel processing. And so we'll spend a day on site and we'll identify projects that will, in essence, save that company money. We'll come back and then we'll write up a report including all of the analysis, not just in terms of savings, but in terms of costs and what we think the paybacks are going to be. And then we provide that to the client at no cost. So the impact on the clients is significant, but also the impact on the students as well. As Mark said, we've had thousands of students come through that program. Just in the last 15 years, we've initiated a certificate program for our students, and we've had 1,200 students become certified through this program. And external studies by consultants have shown that these students that participate in the program earn $6,000 more in starting salary just because they participate in this program. So it's a fantastic experience for these students. What I would call experiential learning is the phrase we like to use in the business. And this is one of the best examples of experiential learning I've ever seen. Not only are we training the students to become the next generation of energy engineers, but the IAC centers, who are located at 28 universities across the country, are at the forefront of developing energy engineering degree programs and helping with the development of the curriculum and the accreditation of those programs. So we like to occupy that role as well in terms of transforming the educational process of engineering in this country. And the last point that I guess I would like to make is we serve as ambassadors. We'll come into a client at no cost and not only provide the services that we can give, but because of our partnerships with other DOE programs like their combined heat and power programs, and with our state energy offices and our state manufacturing extension partnerships, and even our local utilities, we can come into that client and provide the connections that not only help them implement those projects, but then give them a link to what they can do as they move forward to greater efficiencies and greater competitiveness. So I'd just like to say that this program is, like I said, unmatched in terms of what it does for manufacturers and students in particular. I like to say that we teach engineering to our students in the classroom, but in the IC we teach them to be engineers. So.
Great.